is WCXO, Carlisle.
This broadcast is a presentation of WCXO Sports. WCXO Sports, since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, and the Westland Warriors, presents Talkin Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin Sports is powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. McKendree University in Lebanon. Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers, with locations in Breeze and Highland, and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talkin Sports. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio on a Wednesday. It's Hump Day evening. Here's what's coming up tonight. We're going to talk to a couple of coaches. First, from the McKendree hockey scene, Gary Henson, and later on it's off to Centralia for basketball coach Lee Bennett. Plus, as always, on a Wednesday, we have the Easy and Travel Sports Flashback. It features now pro basketball's Katie Hempen. Hopefully you're hearing us loudly and clear. I don't know if we have something bleeding in or not, but and me, it's the usual the last couple of days, cough, cold, so I'll try and get through this baby without any or minimal interruptions, okay? But right now, we go out for some scores and stuff. And it is brought to you by Isaac Auto Body here in Carlisle. See them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. We mentioned the Centralia Orphans. Here's a former orphan athlete right here, man. He's the current principal of Central High School, B. Kent Jones. Kent, welcome back.
Hey, thank you, Rip. Yeah, current principal. That's last 24 years he's been principal at Central High School. How about that?
In other words, they removed the interim tag.
I think so. I think it's been removed, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. Well, let's start with a little college football, okay? And that's where I reference back to interim again. Oh, it's wacky there, but I love most of it. And of course, I've become a big fan. I knew I would of the college football playoffs and the playoff rankings, and they're out again. We have Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin. That's a pretty good set of four, but it's the all-important weekend to go. We could have an upset or two and a whole different Final Four when it really counts.
Well, you just don't know about that, Rip. That's right. Every weekend is something exciting with college football winding down and college basketball starting. Good. Exciting time of the year. Yeah,
it's really, really good stuff. And, of course, last weekend, number 1 Bama was defeated by number 6 Auburn. And did you ever go down there by chance? I know you went with Stoney to an SEC game or two, haven't you?
Well, I've been down to LSU and watched several games down there. Yes. And
yeah. You've got some connections down there.
Huge SEC country. Yeah. My niece was a gymnast there at LSU.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. After she graduated, she started working at the Shaquille O'Neal Learning Center, where all of the athletes have to spend a minimum of 8 hours a week, I believe, working in the center and learning how to do different interview techniques and also public appearances. And she scheduled all that for them. And she had Shaquille come down several times and do fundraisers as well, because they turned the Pete Maravich Center into the Learning Center, where Pete Maravich was at. What a phenomenal basketball player he was.
My favorite all time still. It will never change.
Yeah.
And I got to see him in person, Burley and I, down in the Superdome in 1979. They were playing the Portland Trailblazers, and Pete, of course, on that team, and in the backcourt with him, Gail Goodrich, pretty outstanding, huh?
Right,
And,
from Los Angeles Lakers, those years that he played for them. What great memories that brings back.
that was fan, and he had a rare good night. At that time, he was pretty banged up, knee injuries and so forth.
Yeah.
But he had, I know the natives told us that was the best night of the season. This was really late in his career too. But I think he pumped in about 2022, and it was great theater for sure. But yeah, but college football, college basketball, I love it all. Yes, and Bama did get knocked out. They're fifth in the rankings now, and of course Miami got beat too. So. But it's not over. If you're in the top 8, you have an opportunity up. But a lot of things have to play right. The conference championships, those games are
getting
this
into
weekend.
Getting into those bowl the bowl series, and having the big bowl games going on, and the bets going on as to who's going to win what, and wow, there's so many bowls going on right now. I lose track.
I know. It's pretty wild. I love this. This is actually the University of Tennessee. They're looking like complete fools right now. They had a coach hired, Greg Schiano, and then basically they said, okay, no, it's done. We're calling that off because. And a lot of this was through Twitter. They're going by angry fans who didn't want him, supposedly for some other reason. It's not that. It's because they didn't think he was a good enough coach. But and now they can't find anybody to coach him. This is hilarious.
Wow, I can't imagine that, especially down in Tennessee, which is a predominantly conservative state. I would wonder why they're latching on to this social media and what fans think about that. But it's amazing the power of social media now. There's no doubt about it. It definitely has a voice in areas like in Tennessee and across the country for that matter.
Well, a lot of this is over Schiano's days when he was with Penn State, and we don't need to get into all that scandal and all that. We know all about that. But and he was cleared. He had nothing to do with that. I heard somebody say the other night, it's not about that. It's about they don't want Schiano. They said John Gruden, for instance, he could have been hunkered down with Charlie Manson 50 years ago, and they'd take him because he's a good football coach.
Yeah.
And now they can't find anybody. I mean, Oklahoma State's coach Gundy has turned it down, $7 million a year for 5-6 years, and somebody else told him no today. It's hilarious. So it may be you. You may get back to your football roots too.
Well, man, no doubt about it. I'd like to get that college coaching job now. They're making millions of dollars.
They make millions in the buyouts.
It's amazing how much money the college coaches are making now. And, I guess there's a lot of pressure out there to win. But, wow, could you just imagine?
Well, they get 10 and 12 million to go away. Get out of here. We don't want you anymore. It's wild.
I know it. That's amazing stuff. But it's big business, without a doubt.
It's big business. But everybody – there are only so many, in this case, Nick Saban's, and you can't get that perfect coach. Everybody wants that top guy. There are only so many top guys.
That's right. It
just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. They have
players, coaches, whatever it is.
Earn that respect throughout the country. You have now, everybody knows who the top guys are and throughout the country. And once again, that social media is powerful. And man, they get the ball rolling, and everybody wants them, and they don't understand that there's just few and far between.
Right. There are only so many Kent Jones out there.
Yeah,
Kent Jones.
That's right. Speaking of that, they've advertised for my position now. I'm retiring in June, and
no way.
They're advertising, for principal at Breese Central, and believe it or not, they're not getting a lot of applications. I guess people don't want to be principals.
Well, do they want a little humor hour? I'll send mine in.
Yeah. Send yours in. I'm like, I'm not working after I retire. I'm going to be done. So hopefully they'll find somebody to pick up where I left off.
No, we love our Clinton County schools, and they'll do all right, though. But I didn't know that. Well, congratulations. Don't screw up in the last few months, okay?
I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to hop on the tide and roll with it right on out of there. But
hey, before we move on, and from that, since you mentioned Central High School and your situation again, though, Friday night, and we had Coach Jeremy Schubert on Monday. and so forth. But they're going to honor Dave Thomas, longtime coach, right? He's going to get a in between games, maybe a little ceremony, a nice
Dave's
plaque
gonna
and
be
so
honored.
forth.
He will be honored Friday night, and deservingly so for all the years that he's dedicated himself to help the basketball program there, and definitely well deserved. I can't think of a better person than Dave Thomas. He's just an outstanding person.
Hey, you are at home. Is that your dog, or did another one sneak in off the streets?
That was our Brittany Spaniel. Yes, he's getting excited. He wants to go outside and run around.
Can't. But what kind of a spaniel?
It's a Brittany. Yeah, well, like a bird dog. You know, they call them Brittany's now.
I think I missed that
full
class.
of energy. Full of energy.
So he's related to a Cocker Spaniel.
To pretty much a Cocker Spaniel,
okay.
But
he's a spinoff. He has his own show now.
He just gets on that spaniel business, and his heredity is to chase birds and chase squirrels, and that's what he likes to do. I've been running for 2 hours outside in the yard.
Wow!
And he comes in like he hasn't, skipped a beat. He wants to do it again. So
but first he goes in the fridge. First he goes and opens up the fridge for a beer.
Yeah, he gets right back after it.
It is your dog.
yeah, he's amazing, absolutely amazing dog. They're great dogs, though. I mean, they're dedicated, to their owners. And wow, we didn't know exactly what we were getting into, but a lot of energy.
I like that. That sounds good to me.
Well, it keeps you young, keeps you going.
Yeah, and, there you are.
Yeah, you got to keep. I'm thinking, what am I going to do when I retire? I'm going to keep up with this dog, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Are you going to be watching any NFL football? Because I've quit for the year. I'm done for the year. I haven't watched for a long time. But you know what I did watch the other day? Actually, the last few Sundays off and on, and in total, the last 2 Sundays, including this past Sunday, I watched the Grey Cup from Canada. It was good entertainment, good football.
Oh, I bet it was. Yeah. I seem to catch these NFL games later on in the fourth quarter, and I watched a really dandy the other night with Green Bay.
Over
wow,
Pittsburgh.
what a game they had.
And the Steelers, they just barely beat them, if you can.
Yeah, they did.
Now, I'm paying attention to what happens, but I won't do them the favor and watch with the situation going on.
I'm having a hard time with that whole deal, and so I've stopped watching them too. So there's plenty of other sports on TV.
Hey, I know. Now we're into college basketball and college football's in the full, and I got hockey, and so. But I watched the Greg, and they were playing in the snow the other day up in Ottawa, and Shania Twain was the halftime entertainment, huh? Hey.
Last night I even watched the highlight reels from when Tiger Woods played, and they say he's back in action.
He's back.
I was getting pumped about that, watching his great victories that he had back in '98 and 2005, and wow, what a phenomenal athlete he was. And we seem to forget about that. And there's been a lot of great athletes come along in the world of golf, but he was one of a kind.
He was, and he won't ever be again, though, will he?
Probably not.
And I've never been a fan, but I appreciate what he did. He was a heck of a winner, no doubt about that.
He was just a phenomenal golfer. Yeah.
So, and I don't want to see people. I don't want to see the injuries and that stuff either. But he rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah,
I know. You wonder what a man's legacy is going to be after being such a great athlete and then falling out of a lot of
probably most of the good yet. I mean,
yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad for him, but. Maybe he'll come back and make it interesting. We'll see how it goes.
What do you think about the Illini basketball team? They lost their first last night against Wake Forest. That's probably the first. I suppose they played maybe 2 good teams
we're hoping,
all year.
We're hoping that that the coach will be able to recruit within the state and build that back up again. Maybe he'll get some good players from the state of Illinois. We have some great basketball here. Serving as a IHSA board member for Division 7, I go up to all the state tournaments and I've seen a lot of good athletes in basketball that have gone on to other programs outside of the state of Illinois. It'd be nice to keep them here in Illinois, see how it works.
Oh yeah. Well, they got Mark Smith from nearby Edwardsville. He just had 5 markers last night. Hope that's not a sign of things to come. He's had some big splashes early on here, but again, that was Wake Forest. Should be a pretty good club. But we'll see how it works. I do a poll, the Brett's Wildlife Talking Sports poll on Facebook every week on Tuesday, and the question this week was where are they going to finish in the conference, first, last, or in between? And most of them were going in that B to C in the whatever that would be, 8 to 13
Yeah,
range.
I think they're
ninth.
rebuilding, and they're
Yeah.
the unfortunate thing about Division One basketball is you have to rebuild pretty fast, or
But you can do it pretty
you get let
fast.
go. Yeah,
because one player can turn it
so how many
around.
coaches have they had in the last 10 years that haven't stuck around and have had to move on because they haven't had success? So, yeah, you're right. You got to rebuild, and you got to rebuild fast in Division One basketball, and otherwise your history. I don't have a history with Tom Izzo at Michigan State. I used to go work the basketball camps back in the day, and they seem to be doing well this year.
He's quite the coach. Rick Moss, of course, he's in with Izzo pretty tight too there. So he seems like quite a guy, you know.
Yeah, Tom's a hell of a coach, and he's been a great recruiter. But on top of that, he has great athletes that go to the class. They stay in the classroom and they get their degrees, and so there's more to it than just trying to find that athlete that's going to play for you for a year and then move on. And I think Michigan State's done that, unlike Kentucky and some of the other programs that get kids for a year and then they move on.
I hate that rule. NBA, I want to see that.
There's more to it in college basketball. So
I despise that one and done so much. I'd rather not see him go to. And I guess it's going to be. They're talking about changing a bit. Well, first of all, I want it, but it won't. I want it to be like it is for football and hockey and baseball. If you don't, you got to play 3 years.
Right.
Why don't they do it? I know why the NBA has, but. This one and done, I'd rather they not show up at all for the 1 year because it's tearing the programs up. You don't get used to these kids. It's a whole new team every year.
Right. That's right. And boy, some college teams are getting in trouble too with that, especially in basketball, paying their players and coaches that have been fired. And there's a big deal going on with that. But yeah, I'd like to see that for 3 years. And
I can handle that.
Because I love to watch college basketball. That's where you see defense played and strategies unfold, and you just don't see that in the NBA. I don't watch much NBA basketball.
I don't either. It's kind of like LeBron James fouled out for the first time in his career the other night. That's pretty wild.
I can't imagine.
1,082 regular season games. Now he's got some. They let him off a few times, I'm quite sure, during that because he's the star. You don't want to, but still, no matter how you slice it, it took a long time for him to leave via fouls.
Do they have 10 fouls now? I can't remember how many fouls they allow them to have. I know they get 10 steps.
Officially it's 6, but they give you 10 or 12 normally.
Yeah. Well, I know they get 10 steps before they get to shoot now, so I don't know if they get 10 fouls out there.
Well, I had somebody come at me today on that in a pleasant way on Twitter, but it actually is in their rule book now, 2.5 steps. No other league in the world has that. They actually listed
2.5 steps. Wow.
2.5 steps.
That's amazing.
That's what I was told last year or read last year, and if anything, it's changed for 3.
maybe they squared that, and they multiplied to get like 6 steps.
Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but I do love watching college sports though, and football season is winding down. There's going to be some great games, and college basketball starting up. There's already been some great games. So
there has.
Duke
that PK 80 tournament was pretty neat out in Portland, wasn't it?
Yeah,
some good action out there.
Duke is being challenged, and every night, just the other night, they almost got beat by, what was it, Kansas? Can't remember who it was that they were playing. They almost got knocked off.
Yeah.
Again, so yeah, I think there's so much parity right now up there in the top 20 basketball teams in the country. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Finally, the Blues host Anaheim tonight, and the St. Louis Blues are just coasting 17-6-1 for 35 points. Let's keep that up through May, even June. What do you say?
I got to give a shout out to Kurt Peters about that because he's a huge Blues fan, but he never believes that they're ever going to get out, anywhere in the playoffs.
No, but maybe he's normally right. Yeah,
I know.
He's just based in reality like I am. Yeah, but we always hope.
he's got a couple jerseys though that he's been wearing to the games. I think him and Stan Eagleson have season tickets.
Definitely,
it's fun talking to Kurt too at school about the Blues and how well they. I've stopped talking about the St. Louis Cardinals. He's already sold them down the river, but the Blues are coming on, and he doesn't know what to think about their great success they're having.
It's all good. Incidentally, we've got a sale here, Kenton. Thanks for coming on again. But if you want to hear a good hockey guy, we've got one coming on next from McHenry, their coach, Gary Henson. This guy is super, and that program is just fired up and rolling. I mean, he's done an incredible job. And they're playing all these Division I teams, and beating them. It's something else.
That is impressive. And just think about that right down the road, university doing that. Well, that's fun. That's fun to hear, and they're fun to watch. You're right.
Okay, we better depart. But thanks a lot for the visit. And say hello to the wife and the dog. What's that dog's name?
I will do that. Cooper. Yeah.
Cooper.
Yes.
Okay.
He's full of energy. I'm going to have to go catch up with him anyway right now. So yeah, I appreciate you letting me on, Rip. It's always an honor.
Here's what you do.
And you guys have a great show, and it's so exciting to be a part of it.
Thanks a bunch. Take a couple of pills and go see Cooper. All right. See you later.
But we'll see you.
That is B. Kent Jones on Scores and Stuff. He was on the Tucker Electric guest line. Scores and Stuff was brought to you by Isaac Auto Body in Carlisle. See them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. We'll bounce back with Gary Henson and Lee Bennett and still more.
Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
Reverman Chiropractic in Breeze would like to say thank you to our patients, staff, and local healthcare professionals for their continued support and cooperation as we celebrate 10 years in business. At Reverman Chiropractic, our focus is to work with you, the patient, and your other healthcare providers to deliver the best and most effective care possible. Please take advantage of our evening and weekend hours and call 526-4700 to schedule an appointment with Dr. Craig Reverman or Dr. Travis Isaac.
Visit Breeze Motors to find the perfect car, truck, SUV, or CUV that fits your lifestyle and your budget. Breeze Motors is offering new 2016 Ford vehicles and a wide selection of pre-owned units. Breeze Motors has kept your vehicles in tip-top shape with genuine Ford parts in their service department for over 100 years. On Old Route 50 West in Breeze, visit breezemotorsales.com. Breeze Motors, your family dealer since 1913.
What were we thinking when we designed the station? I'll tell you. We were thinking it takes all sorts to make a world.
Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio for a Wednesday. And here we go with round two. We're off with the Tucker Electric guest line and for McKendree Bearcats hockey coach Gary Hanson. Gary, welcome back to Talkin' Sports.
Hey, thanks, Rip. Happy to be here.
Your team is zipping along again. You've won 9 consecutive games. Congrats on that roll.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's nice to get on that roll. Tough weekend coming up against Illinois State. Hopefully we'll take care of business and extend that to 11.
You have pocketed a lot of goals, and you've given up very few. That's a good combination. That's just the way you draw it up on that big board, isn't it, Gary?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Seems so simple.
It is simple. Yeah, we knew we would score a lot, and both of our goalies returned after last year, so another year of experience, and we're relying a little bit more on Trevor Klosterman this year, kid from Highland.
Yeah,
and he stepped up in that backup role and helped out tremendously.
That is great. You're 14 up and only 3 down, but yeah, you're not surprised. The goaltending and out. You were counting on another good campaign, and it is here. And this is just what you kind of expected to see. Now, if you can just tender this along as we go, it's a long season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The toughest part of the season hasn't really hit us yet. That's January. So hopefully the boys will do the right thing over break and not do what their coaches do, which is put on a little weight. And we'll come out of the break strong and hopefully head into the postseason.
I, of course, don't need a break for that. It's just a constant.
Me either.
But no, you tower above your mates right now, the Mid-American Collegiate Hockey Association, too, and that's in the top division. That's in the gold division. You've won 11 of 12.
Yeah, we let one get away from us there against SLU early in the season. We played well, but ran into a hot goalie. I know they got 6 on us, which a couple of little fluky goals here and there, but we had almost 65 shots on goal that game and 65. Just couldn't find the back of the net.
Is that a record, especially for the number being turned away? That's a whole lot.
Yeah, it was it was one of those frustrating days, you know.
Got to give that goalie a little credit, huh?
Yeah, Alec Dirk is Dirk. He's a good young man and a really good goaltender. So, you got to tip your hat to him.
Last year you won the league crown, right? And you didn't fail. You didn't lose a game, did you?
No, we didn't. Last year we ran through the gold division in our first year at D2 without a loss. Went into the playoffs and beat SIUE 4-1, and then beat the University of Iowa 4-1 in the championship game to win that conference.
I love it, the way you tangle with all of these Division I schools, and that's just great. We were just talking about that a tad with Kent Jones, the Central High School principal. We had him on for scores and stuff earlier, and he said too, and this is true with a lot of the sports in McKendree, you've really gotten into this Division II action in great stead. And in your case, you're playing a lot of the highest level teams, Division I.
Yeah, it was. We played University of Illinois D1 earlier this year, and they got us in both those games, but I'm not making excuses. If anybody wants to Google their ice rink and take a look at it, you can. It's something that you don't see every day. It's 125 feet wide, which a normal rink's 85 feet wide. So little tough to adjust to for us, but we got 2 more series against D1 opponents when we come back from break. We're going to travel down and play Arkansas in late January, and then we're going to, after our conference playoffs, we're going to travel to Missouri State and play their D1 team in February.
And how about Arkansas, for instance? How long have they had hockey now? A long time or not? Are they kind of new to that?
No, yeah, they've had it. If I want to guess, I'm going to guess somewhere around 8 to 10 years now.
All right.
Yeah, they're similar to us as far as where they recruit from, and they have 2 teams as well. They have a D1 and a D3. We currently have a D2, D3. So we run into them a lot and into their coaches and their scouts a lot, recruiting from the same areas.
You had to suffer some player losses through graduation from a season ago, right? But you obviously have a plenty of talent back.
Yeah, we do have plenty of talent back. I mean, there's no substitute for what Ryan Sizer and Steven Sanney especially brought to McKendree. They were the first 2 of what I consider my recruits. So they're both from the Toronto area, and they were the first 2 to kind of believe in my vision or what we had in McKendree's vision of hockey. And so they came down, and they were the I guess the snowflakes that got the snowball rolling down the hill, But we've replaced them. We've brought in Ty Wilson and Connor Brennan and Shane Pluto, Cole Dezane and Daniel Nordlander and Alex Ivasenko. All those young men have junior A level ability and junior A level experience. So we brought in a really good core of recruits this year that have really stood out for us.
Sure have. Wilson and Brennan, they're among your top scorers. Levi Armstrong there from Urbana. And what about Switzerland's, is it Dominic Nass?
Yeah, Dominic Nass. He's a returner. He's a sophomore for us. Dominic is, I give him trouble because he works really hard on and off the ice. He's a 4.0 student, and he helps a lot of our athletes with tutoring them and getting them ready for class and all. But on the ice, he works just as hard, but I kind of give him trouble because Connor Brennan and Ty Wilson are such great playmakers. Sometimes it's just Dominic cruising through the slot and picking up the loose puck and burying it.
Well, he's done 18 goals on the year, 42 points. And Armstrong, you gotta click on the power play, right, Gary? And he is he's punched in 8 of them.
Yeah, Levi is one of our triggers on our power play. We run a an option shoot first power play, which is essentially if anybody gets the puck from Ty Wilson at any point, we expect a shot on goal. And Ty's done a good job at finding Levi. Levi's just a natural sniper. He's really good at changing the angle. He's really good at letting that one timer go, and he doesn't miss very often. And so he's been great for us these last 2 years. So
now again, it's Trevor Klosterman and Andrew Best, your 2 goaltenders, and Andrew has gotten the most starts. Looks like Trevor, just stats wise, even a little ahead in goals against average and the saves. And so tell us a little bit more about Trevor, because again, he's from Highland. He's our one local on the team.
Yeah, he is. He's from Highland, Illinois. We discovered Trevor kind of by accident, so to speak. A buddy of mine who just happened to see him and knows that I like big goaltenders, and Trevor's almost 6'5". So
goodness,
he told me to go take a look at him. And, I went to a game at East Alton, one of his high school games, and he looked athletic, but, again, he was a little raw. And we brought him in, and the kid has worked. There's no one that's worked harder than Trevor Klosterman at his craft, and he's really built himself into a really good, sound goaltender, and his statistics show that.
Fantastic. But otherwise, yes, you have guys scarfed up from around the world, not just Switzerland. Well, a lot of them from Canada, but over in the former Soviet Union. It's amazing how you ring up all these guys, Gary.
Yeah, we, just through doing this for 27 years, you run into a lot of people along the way. And
then when you add the internet to it, it just multiplies.
Absolutely. The internet's been great for us. We were able to Skype with these guys over in Europe, and a lot of these Europeans, though, they've played in the United States, so we've seen them here and then are able to contact them once they go home. So, things have been good for us, and I guess we're up to about 9 or 10 countries now, and hopefully that'll increase. We may be adding Slovakia to that in January.
Why not? Yeah, and you speak all of the languages fluently, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay. You're way ahead of the game. How'd the scrimmage go with the Blues alumni? That had to be a blast.
It was a lot of fun, and it was a little bit more of a test than we expected. Terry Yake and I had been chatting about it a little bit over the summer, and it initially was going to be just the Blues alumni, and then between our conversations, I kind of needed it to be a little bit more of a spirited game. And so we lost to 8-4, but 2 of their lines are guys that play in the AHL, which is like, AAA baseball.
Exactly.
So so the boys got a little bit of a wake-up call.
That's all right.
And that is all right. Cam Jansen played.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Cam, you know what Cam's known for. He's not known for scoring. He's known for fighting.
Yeah, did anybody get in a tussle with him?
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I was getting to. So Blair Davies is a junior on our team, and he goes about 5'7" and probably weighs 130.
Perfect.
Yeah, when the third period started, he was on the opposite side of Cam, so he had Dominic Noss switch with him, and he went over and kind of pulled on Cam's gloves and said, "Are those glued on, or are you going to keep running your mouth?"
Oh, that's real good.
And so Cam dropped him, and Blair dropped him, and they had a somewhat of a tussle. It was pretty nice.
Oh, that's good. Is that on video somewhere? I'm gonna have to try.
Yeah, actually, it's you can
go to the archives
on our website.
Real good. That's super. That's super. And the Rex Plex is doing well for you, right?
Absolutely. The staff there they treat us like. Well, they treat us amazingly, and we couldn't be happier with what's going on there. We walk in that place every day, and I'm just amazed at from where we came from with 5 a.m. practices at Granite City Ice Rink to where we are now in the last 5 or 6 years it's been a really a big turnaround for McKendree, and the McKendree Metro Recplex has been outstanding.
Quite the transition, all for the better. So, all right, Gary, well, thanks for the visit, and we'll get you at the turn of the year. You face off in Normal this weekend against the ISU Redbirds, right?
That is correct.
Good luck up there.
All right, Rip, thanks a lot.
Thank you. We'll see you.
See ya.
Gary Henson of the McKendree Bearcats hockey team. We need to pause just for a while, then we're going to flash back and also talk hoops with Lee Bennett. Stay tuned.
Insuring your home and auto with Pekin Insurance equals a sizable discount. Farmer State Bank Insurance Department may save you as much as 30% on homeowners premiums and up to 15% on auto premiums if you insure both with Pekin Insurance. Call Farmer State Bank Insurance Department at 495-2965 for details about multi-policy discounts and learn what beyond the expected coverage and savings are all about.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal government agency, not guaranteed by the bank, may go down in value.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
Remember the good old days at the Speakeasy nightclub? Who's ready to party one more time? The final Speakeasy reunion, The Last Dance, is coming to the Aviston American Legion Saturday, December 30th, featuring the Bob Seger tribute band, the Silver Bullet STL, and an area favorite, Scooters. Get your tickets now and get ready for the final Speakeasy reunion, The Last Dance. Call 974-9735. That's 974-9735. It's your last chance. It's the last dance. It's the final Speakeasy reunion. Saturday, December 30th at the Aviston American Legion. Call 974-9735. That's 974-9735. Party one more time at the Speakeasy.
Remember what it was like to expect the unexpected?
I never realized it was so complex.
Guess what? The feeling's back.
You're on Max.
Yes, we have returned as well. We're in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. This is Rip on Talking Sports for a Wednesday. We're here every Monday and Wednesday night from 6 until 7, and Saturday mornings 9 until 10. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Yes, we'll round that up. We'll lap that Saturday, but appreciate it. All right, let's flashback.
It's Flashback.
Get ready to flash back with the Easy In Travel Sports Flashback. Escape to paradise with Easy In Travel and Breeze. Call 526-2201.
And at 6:38, that time drop is brought to you by Breeze Furniture, Jan's Uniforms. We are going to flash back. This is from July 22nd of this very year. It's Highland's Katie Hempen on her path to the pro basketball courts in Greece.
I had a coach from Iceland reach out to one of my assistant coaches at ASU, and from there it kind of just went from Iceland to Greece, and a week and a half later it went to signing a contract with Greece.
Now, which brings up the question, where's this coach from Iceland? How's he or she tie into this? Where'd you meet her or the coach at?
They had actually offered me last year to go overseas and play, and I had declined to take a year off and rest and recover and kind of figure out what I wanted to do in life. And from here now, I've decided that I wanted to go back and play and kind of take my experience overseas and see what I can do over there.
Well, this is great. And it sounds like you did have that chance before, but this is you wanted to really give it a crack, and you're going to now. But you have an agent as well, Katie?
I do have an agent, yes, and he has been absolutely fantastic for me.
And you have been out of the college, you've been out of the game for a while as far as really playing competitively, a year removed from Arizona State and such, but no apprehension, right? You're still playing, I'm sure, competitively somewhere, somehow, huh?
Oh, yeah, I'm always playing. I've been coaching a lot So I play with some of the top high schoolers in the country, and I get to work with them all throughout the summer, and it's been a complete, absolute blessing with them. And also, I still work out with all the ASU girls as well every once in a while when I can, when I'm not coaching. So it's been really good.
Companies are hiring again. That's good news. Bad news, you don't have the skills they're looking for. Kaskaskia College can fix that. KC's welding technology program can set you up with the skills industries are looking for. More good news, classes are available at KC's Trenton Center or Crisp Technology Center. Call Sean Morris at 545-3406. The demand is there, the pay is there. Where are you? Kaskaskia College, your future starts here. Planning a remodel or building a new home? Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton can get you started. Ideal Home Solutions has quartz, granite, solid surface, and laminate, with granite starting at just $49 per square foot. Ideal Home Solutions proudly sells Haas cabinets and specializes in custom showers, any size to fit your space. From tubs, whirlpools, vanity tops, windowsills, you're covered. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, 224-2500, or see their showroom at 102 West Broadway in Trenton. WCXO Sports is now available everywhere you go at WCXO967.com. Listen to our WCXO Sports broadcasts, including Talkin Sports with Rip. Check out WCXO967.com. Click on the Sports tab, then on Live Sports Broadcasts, and it will take you to our WCXO Sports YouTube channel. Experience WCXO Sports wherever you go. And make sure to subscribe to our WCXO Sports YouTube channel for notifications when we are live with sports broadcasts, including our broadcasts of the boys and girls high school basketball season. It's your community, your sports teams, your radio station. Max 96.7 WCXO and WCXO967.com.
Do you mind if I turn on the radio?
The music is great and it doesn't cost anything.
It's Max 96.7.
Rip still here in the Carlisle Meat Market studio on a Wednesday, the midweek edition of Talkin Sports. It is. Hey, listen up, because I want to tell you about, buying cars. Nice, simple way, because it can at places, but it does not have to suck, okay? And it does not suck at Dine Chevrolet. They respect your time. They respect you. And you don't have to be there for hours upon hours unless you want to hang out. Enjoy some popcorn, coffee, whatever. Options galore. But they will get to know your needs and, in turn, help you find the right vehicle so you can make an informed decision. That's the kind of decision. I could have used a few informed decisions before on some things. Financing options are easy, too, and there is absolutely no pressure to buy. Forget about that. They work for you. See Dine for your next vehicle and see how easy it is to get behind the wheel that you want. It's easy to get behind the wheel, period. DineChevrolet.com. Check it all out. We're back after this timeout. Important messages with Coach Lee Banner of the Centralia Basketball Orphans.
When wearing contacts, you shouldn't even be able to feel them. If they're uncomfortable or feeling dry, come see us at Lebanon Optometric Center or Breeze Family Vision Center. We'll find the right contacts for you, whether it's multifocal, astigmatism, daily disposables, or hybrid lenses. Don't suffer through contacts that are just fine. We have all the major brands to choose from, and with locations in Breeze and Lebanon, if you damage or tear your contacts, we can replace them right away. Start seeing clearer today with a little help from Breeze Family Vision Center or Lebanon Optometric Center.
If you're looking for Nissan quality, be sure to check out what Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia has to offer. Munkin's has the entire field covered with a great lineup of Nissans, including Maximas, Altimas, and Sentras, SUVs and crossovers, and Titan and Frontier trucks. And you can relax when you shop Munkin's because you know you're getting the better deal every time, along with terrific service after the sale. For your Nissan, log on to Munkin1.com, or better yet, visit Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in person, Route 161 West in Centralia.
McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
For a truly affordable and all-inclusive senior living experience unlike any other, come to Legacy Place in Breeze, offering exceptional and professional care. Legacy Place delivers kindness and compassion to residents with independent, assisted living, or memory care services. Legacy Place offers luxurious and comfortable home-like living with fireplaces, activity areas, cafes, salons, and much more. Call 526-9600 for a free tour at Legacy Place.
Welcome to our music warehouse. Lucky you're not the one who has to refile all these CDs. Playing everything.
You've got Max 96.7.
Yeah, hello again, sports fans. We are back in the saddle. We're up here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. We've heard from Kent Jones and Gary Henson. Saturday morning, incidentally, two of our guests are all from that basketball world, from Christ-Star Rock, Steve Britt, and Brent Brady from the Westland Warriors. A couple of more good coaches there. We've got another top-notch one on the line, the Tucker Electric guest line right now. It's over to Centralia, to Trout Arena for Orphans basketball coach Lee Bennett. Lee, welcome back.
Thanks, Rip. As I've said before, it's always good to be back with you. That means the Orphans are winning.
Yeah, and you're already a champion. You carded first at your own tournament, the Centralia Thanksgiving tournament on Saturday night. So way to go.
Yeah, it was a good first week for us. Like everybody, you have a lot of things and a lot of areas you need to get better, but you have a good bit of time to try to get better at some of those things if guys are willing to work. And it sets a starting spot for where you are moving forward, and those guys can see where they need to be, where they want to be and where they are as opposed to where they are now. So, it was the guys get ready to play after a couple of weeks. They get ready to play, and now you spend some time trying to continue to get better at base stuff of what you're doing offensively and defensively, and also, preparing for specific teams each week.
You actually tattooed some teams, all four of them, Springfield, Belleville East, Julian out of Chicago, and Jersey. Jersey was the finale on Saturday night, and you ousted them 64-46. They hung with you for a while, I guess, but then you won with relative ease.
All those games, we had a real commanding lead at half, except for our first game of the night, which was Springfield, and we were decidedly worse that game than we were the next three. We had a really good spurt to start the second half, but that was our only really, really good spurt of that game. And the other ones, we were more, we were more steady throughout the game, playing efficient basketball. So, and the ball moved better those last three games than it did the first game. And that's the first night, sometimes kids get, I'm going to show you what I can do and this and that.
Sure.
We were showing them, but it was what we couldn't do, unfortunately. So we started moving it and playing a lot more efficient basketball the second half of that game, and it carried throughout the week. And it's certainly, I hope, not as efficient as it's going to be later in the winter. Hopefully we'll continue to get back.
You'll not.
It was a good starting point.
Yeah, and this tournament's good for you. I mean, you won 4 out of 5, but it's not even that. But I like this type of tournament to tip off the season, because you do find out a lot about your kids, and they find out some of them about the high school game. Some of the younger ones that.
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely, it's game.
A little different than I thought.
Yeah, it's you're trying to get game. Well, we have some. I'm kind of at halftime of a freshman game going out there, and there's some kids going, oh man, this is different. These kids are all big now on the other team. Of course, everybody's kids are a little bigger than ours, and that's the way it goes.
Right.
But it's just you see them like having that moment of doing that kind of default stuff they've done in the past, and now it doesn't work that way. And then that's the same thing when kids make that jump to the varsity level, when that closeout on that shot comes a lot quicker, and the length on that dump pass you're trying to make, that length defending it is a lot longer, and that kind of thing.
Javon Williams, your tournament MVP, that's become old hat for him, huh?
Yeah, he had a good week offensively for us, really inside, outside, kind of doing what he can do. He's got a very diverse game, and he hits 3-pointers and shot his free throws well, and he can take the ball and get into seams, and then he can post up and that. So he's really a unique offensive player in that regard. And Jordan Maines was another guy that was on the all-tournament team. Shot it really poor the first night, and then shot it really well the rest of the tournament. And we did that as a team. We shot very poor the first night, and we shot very well. I mean, we had virtually everybody that played hit 3-point shots.
I saw where, yeah.
So
Maines hit a dozen of them.
I don't know if there were that many, but maybe it was. I don't know. But he, as we moved the ball better, we shot a lot better, and that's not a coincidence.
You're right.
Yes, that's not a coincidence.
Yep, find that open man and zip it over.
I mean, one game, Keeler hit 2 or 3, and I think Jamie Long had probably had one in probably 3 of the 4 games, maybe, and Matt Patrick hit him, Brian Meskel hit him, Swede's name, Preston Johannes hit some, Peyton Long hit some, so we don't, it's whatever, just taking open shots and trying to get shots where the odds are, tilted in our favor relative to other shots.
You reeled off some pretty good names there, Lee. The only one missing, of course, is that solo from last year, and he was quite a player, Dawson Berry.
Well, as I've watched some tape from last year preparing for some games this year, we realized how good Dawson was at both ends, and both mentally, physically, and emotionally. You didn't have to manage his emotions. You didn't have to coach him to try hard. He could defend the post. He could defend the perimeter. He could hit the 3. He was our best passer. He was our best all-around defender. He could post up and had good moves, and he could pass out of the post a little bit. So we lost a lot. It's one guy, I realize that, but we lost a whole lot. And sometimes now we're coaching effort a little more than we'd like, and we're coaching attitude, disposition and mentality, emotions, coaching that stuff, which you hope at the varsity level you don't have to do that too much. I mean, still dealing with people, and it's just part of it. But you'd like to be able to stick with the basketball as much as you can, and that just kind of depends on the maturational level of the young men you're dealing with.
You have a Salem transfer, is that correct?
Yeah, Sean Reed. I think he's been at Salem the last year and a half or so, and he had a real good fall on the football field for us. And he's trying to learn and get up to speed. He's a great guy, hard worker, really, really good young man. And Peyton Long's kind of in that same boat where he missed last year with an ACL, and he's just trying to get up to speed. And you kind of need to know what the other guys know, or else you kind of stymie everybody else from doing what they can do. So, this kind of got a learning curve right now, and guys that pop out that haven't been involved in a round in summer, it's real hard for them to learn in their first year, and it can be done. I mean, we've had plenty of players that have done it over the years, but it takes a while, and some guys learn faster than others, in that scenario. But it's because some basic defensive concepts are just completely foreign just to some kids, depending on where they played and how they played and that kind of thing. So it's a lot. And, in Rip and basketball, you can't learn like one thing, like, I just shoot. I'm just a shooter. Or I'm just, every person is a
player,
a quarterback. They all have to get the ball and go do their thing with it. And they have to be able to receive it. They need to be able to, carry the ball, so to speak, and then defensively it's just, it's the same thing. You need to be able to do all the different things. So everybody's, so it ends up being quite a bit to learn and quite a bit of skills to develop for those guys that want to be good,
Centralia's Lee Bennett is with us. Of course, last season you rung up 22 victories and went to the Super. You'd take that and a little bit more, wouldn't you, Lee?
Well,
if you can.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, it's difficult.
Last year, Rip, there was probably, I'm not ready to say we were like better than a bunch of teams in our sectional. I felt like, and I said this then, and it was the case, there were 8 or 9 teams that had a real legit chance to win that sectional, and we were one of them, no question. But to come out and do that was really good. I mean, it was quite an accomplishment, and we've knock on wood, we've been real fortunate winning regionals, and you kind of just think, well, they win region, but that's not easy.
You still have to go out there and play, and it's so easy to stub your toe.
20% of the teams or so in the state get a win a regional, maybe a little less. And then, you know, from there, it's maybe about 5% or a little less in the state get a win a sectional. That's hard to do.
It thins out a little bit as you go up the board.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, our young men have really, you know, done a whale of a job here, and hopefully it keeps going. But I don't want you know, each team's a new and different team, and I don't want that, you know, those guys to not appreciate what they accomplished, or whether, you know. Then we have a lot of people in our community that do appreciate what those young men have been able to go out there and accomplish. And you know, we'll just keep trying to lead them in that direction, and hopefully they can, you know, keep doing what they're doing.
As far as the overall goes, Lee, as we stretch it out a bit, what about the kids, especially those Frosh and Souths, capable players there too, I'm sure.
Well,
how are they doing tonight again? Is this the freshman team, you say?
Yeah, we've got some freshman games going tonight. Yeah, I mean, we just, Rip, we kind of keep getting the same issue we've had, which is, you know, we're going to have those smaller guys on the court every night. And that's just what it is, you know. I mean, I'd rather have good players than big players, but if you have big, good players, then that can be,
I know.
that can be tough, you know. And Carbondale's got some big, good players. So, you know, that's a lot of what they look for at the next level too.
And you've got the Carbondale Terriers Friday, right, and then Triad. So it's a busy and
Friday
tough
is
weekend.
Carbondale at home, and Saturday is at Triad. And Carbondale, they've got one loss, and it was to a fantastic St. Mary's team, and I think they may have been missing a starter or two. Carbondale, so it's they're a very good team. They have a couple of, you know, very legitimate Division I players that are long-armed and skilled and can score inside out. Really good players, and you know they're always going to play hard and attack you, and we'll certainly have our hands full Friday. And I'm just hoping we, you know, as far as goals, you know, I don't get the guys together and what's our goal, you know, because I think the only goal should ever be how good can we be, you know. What's our high end? Let's try to get as close to our high end as we can. How good can we possibly be? And then if you have some talent, you win some games. You know, if you have a lot of talent, you win a lot of games.
Yeah,
if you don't have much talent, you probably don't win much. You know, and that's just kind of where it is. So I just leave it at that. Generally, from day to day, let's get better. Let's be better today than we were yesterday.
Well, the plotting has worked for you. How many years now, Lee, at Centralia? My goodness.
This is 11th year, Rip.
11. I would have been off by actually just one. I didn't say I was going to go with 10. And are most of your assistants back for this 2017-18?
You know, yeah, we've got all of our staff back. Brad Guai, our JV coach, has been with me for 11 years, and he grew up in Pittsfield and played for Dad, and does a very strong basketball knowledge and knows how we like to get it done, and he's been a big part of what we've been able to accomplish here. And then we have a couple of those Clinton County guys.
Yes.
Tommy Barrows out there is the freshman coach, and he gets them coached up. And then Cole Schroggy's our defensive coach, and he coaches the sophomores, and he's got the best dribble right spin move you've ever seen. And then London Waite, that played for us a couple years ago,
I'll bet.
And he helps with our freshmen last year and again this year, and kind of coaches the B games. And you know, sometimes you can end up with 18 or 20 freshmen, and if you're in there with one coach, sometimes those B kids don't get the
right
the reps, you know, that they might. So I think we've been, you know, and London's a great guy and knows what he's trying to accomplish there. And sometimes, man, I'm telling you, Rip, I was a B player. I was a freshman B player. I matured late and grew late, and then I never started a basketball game until I was a junior starting varsity.
Is that right?
Sometimes kids come on late. Now we've had
definitely.
I've had a few of those kids over the years. When I was at Dakota, our second best player for a couple of years was a kid that was a freshman reserve kid. But you know, some of those guys are going to grow and mature late and fall in love with the game, potentially, not always, but potentially. So, you know, I like to get those guys some instruction if they want to stick with it and work.
Well,
we've got a guy, Sirlando Calcutt, that's out there helping us right now. That's a freshman reserve, you know, but he decided it was something he wanted to do and stick with, and you know, it's a hard worker, and he makes us better.
That's good. And we've got to run, Lee. But yeah, you bring that up. I always remember. I think I'm right on this. The years of plugged me a little bit, but I believe Doug Collins. I believe he wasn't a starter at Benton until his junior year or senior. I know.
Yeah, you probably had to be pretty good to play at Benton.
Oh, that's true. They had some great teams. But he had to kind of grow into that body too and stuff. And he turned out all right. Now we're not going to get a lot of those, but I mean that was another issue.
Rip, let me say one thing before you run. 75th annual Centralia Holiday Tournament.
All right.
And it's the 28th, 29th, and 30th, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Friday, second night of the tournament, we've invited back some former champion coaches and MVPs, and we're going to kind of celebrate the 75th birthday of the tournament with that. And then also on the first night of the tournament, the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association is going to be here to recognize. They're trying to recognize the programs that have won 1,500 or more games, and they're about 35 years late on us, but they're going to be here to recognize the fact that Centralia is again the winningest team in the nation. And
bingo.
Also they picked 3 events they're going to recognize, and the Centralia Holiday Tournament is one of those. So they're going to knock out both of those on the first night of the tournament. So we're hoping we have a good crowd. There's going to be some things to celebrate, and some very good teams this year in the Centralia Holiday Tournament. Very strong field.
Excellent, Lee. Hey, we've got a rush, I guess, but appreciate your time as always, and we'll definitely talk to you after the Centralia Holiday Tournament for sure.
Well, I hope you still want to talk, Rip.
Oh, yeah.
It means the orphans are doing good.
Yeah, plus I learned stuff from you.
I don't know about that, buddy. Hey, thanks, Rip.
Yeah. All right, see ya. Lee Bennett of the Seatown Orphans, our thanks to him and to Gary Henson from the McHenry Hockey Bearcats. Kent Jones was on Scores and Stuff. We'll see you Saturday morning on Talking Sports, Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 WCXO.
Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7 was powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin' Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College, the future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Eming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. McKendree University in Lebanon. Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7.